just like birds of a feather. I won't tell no lie. All of the people around us, they say, can they be that close? Just let me state for the record, we're giving love in a family dose. We are family. Hey, I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Sing it to me. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Living life is fun, and we've just begun to get our share of this world's delight. High hopes we have for the future and our goals in sight. We know we don't get depressed. Here's what we call our golden rule. Have faith in you and the things you do. You won't go wrong. Oh no, this is our family jewel. We are family. Sing it to me. I got all my sisters with me. Sing it to me. We are family. I can hear you, guys. Get up, everybody, and sing. We have faith in you and the things you do. Hey, I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, y'all. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are family. I got my sisters with me. I got all my sisters with me. Everybody. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Get up and sing it to me.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Stylin', wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, oh! Stop. Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some nigga in it. Take a sip, sign the check. Julio, get the stretch. Right to Harlem, Hollywood, Mississippi. If we show up, we gon' show out. Smoother than a fresh drop skipping. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Bitch, say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Hey, 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 oh! Before we leave, let me tell y'all a little something. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. I said uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you said and flown it. If you freak dead and own it. Don't brag about it, come show me. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you said and flown it. Well, it's Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Come on, say.
At Kroger, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store and pick and pack every veggie in your free pickup order with care, because we treat your food the way we'd want ours to be treated. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
And now find more ways to save on your favorites. When you download digital coupons, you can use up to 5 times in one transaction. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
I couldn't have done it without Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
Phil found me a job that gives me more time with my family.
Thank you, Phil. I love my job.
What job will Phil help you discover? Find out at ZipRecruiter.com.
You know your closet well, but what does it sound like? Yes, your closet. Does it whisper your taste? Does it scream your taste? The new Stitch Fix Freestyle, your personalized store, gets to know your unique style and fit. Its selection transforms to show you only the looks and trends you'll love. With a store that evolves alongside your taste, your closet will scream, so you, without actually screaming. Introducing Stitch Fix Freestyle for women and men, your personalized store. We're so you.
For the national anthem, sung by Ava Stovall, a former competitor from Washington High School, and singing the national anthem for us tonight for the 4th time.
brought stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Excellent job, Ava. Ava was a speech competitor and had graduated and volunteered her time to come back and sing for us. So again, thank you, Ava, for giving your time to us to kick off with that wonderful rendition of our national anthem. Good evening, everyone. My name is Susie Knobloch. I'm the Assistant Executive Director at the Illinois High School Association and the Administrator for Speech Individual Events. On behalf of the IHSA and our over 800 member schools, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2022 IHSA State Speech Awards. It warms my heart to say that to you in person. Congratulations to all of you. As you know, you have overcome many obstacles to be here, and for some of our students, being on this stage and being able to perform in this venue and being able to compete in an in-person format was a great accomplishment. When we last left this stage in 2020, we had no idea that 21 would be virtual, but we worked tremendously hard to give you the opportunity to be back here in person. And throughout the weekend, as I walked the halls, the D Hall, and watched you compete, I was never so proud of my life to see the coaches, the judges, and the participants not take this activity for granted. You understand the value of interscholastic competition and the value of in-person events. The soft skills you learn in competing in speech transcend so many things in your life. So I'm forever grateful for you. I also want to say that it takes a village to run this tournament. We are the vehicle, but we have to rely on so many people. So first, I want to thank our competitors, their families that allow them to be a part of this, but a heartfelt thanks to our coaches. If they could please stand, let's give a round of applause to all our wonderful coaches this year. Congratulations, coaches. This is well-deserved applause because I usually, over the last few years, I feel like I was watching you behind Zoom screens, so you deserve that applause to be here in person. We have a great evening of awards for you, but I'd be remiss if I didn't take a chance to thank a variety of people, our Civic Center hosts, our state final committee, and their names are in our program, but I'll go through them, and if we could applaud at the end. I want to thank Coach Adam Jenkins from Belleville West, Mark Urban from Eisenhower High School, Greg Solomon from DeKalb High School, Justin Makovic from Downers Grove South, Chuck Cavazos from Elk Grove Village, Tim Connor from Freeport High School, Marie Wojcicki from Thornton High School, Brad Albin from Thornton High School, Andrea Gustafson from Morris High School, Brian Roman from U High, Katie Giegler from Friend High School, Lisa Stout from Washington High School, and Dave DeMarzo from Wheaton Warrenville South High School. Those folks kept our tournament rolling, working in the tab room, making sure all the scores were inputted correctly. And I also want to let you know that we had a fantastic tab team led by our state final manager, who you'll meet in a moment. But a round of applause and heartfelt thanks to Jan Heiting, our state final manager. Jan was assisted by Elijah Wilson, who has been a steady force of our speech tournament for years, and then Hunter Evans in PIR, Justin from Downers Grove South Makovic, that ran our volunteers and timers like a champ as always, and our Master of Ceremonies, who you've already met, and I call him the voice of IHSA speech, Mr. John Knight. Congratulations and thanks to all those people that get to be a part of this great, great activity. And finally, I just want to end by saying any opportunity I have to be in front of young people, I want to let you know this is our 81st year of speech individual events. You're a part of IHSA history, but you are an important part to keep that history going. So for our seniors who graduate, please make sure you come back and judge at your local invitational tournaments. Find a program that you want to nurture or be involved with and coach in years to come. It is because of you that we need to keep this activity going, and you need to keep in mind that as we continue to go on for 81 more years, we need you in those seats. So that's my challenge to you. All right, we have a couple special presentations to go into before we start our award presentation, and now I'll pass it over to our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. John Knight.
Before we start handing out all of the awards to all of the wonderful speech students that we have today, we are going to take a moment to recognize some very, very special coaches. So to present the John Hires Distinguished Faculty Award, I would like to introduce our State Speech Tournament Manager, Ms. Jan Heiting.
Hi, everybody. You say hi back. Did anybody say hi back? Thank you. One of my greatest honors during the state speech tournament is to name individuals who are leaving the field to do other interesting things, who are retiring after many, many, many years of service, with the John M. Hires Distinguished Service Award. Now, John was a coach before most of you were born, but he had some very special characteristics that are still with us, I think, today, competitively and educationally and socially. He was a mentor of mine. I was also a mentor of his, but he would never admit that. Those of you that know him know that's true. And that is kind of the theme that we're going to look at tonight as we talk about these individuals who are retiring after many, many years of service. I asked two of their mentees to write something because I thought that they could say it better. And it was so interesting because when I had the information from these two individuals, they're almost the same, but about different people. So, our first honoree this evening is Mark Simon from Mattia Valley High School. You can applaud more in a second. Oh, he's coming? Okay, good. Bring him up. talk about you now. You're well. It'll be good. It'll be good. A lot of people throw around the term good guy. And, you know, we say that all the time. He's a good guy, he's a good gal, whatever. This is the good guy. And it has been my honor, Mark, to get to work in your presence for these last many years. But I don't think I could say it as well as Nicole Carino Primos, who wrote, "Words cannot express the way this man has shaped my life. I'm going to cry. I had the privilege of having him as my high school English teacher for 2 years. He then became my mentor when I started teaching. And when I got to coach by his side at Neuqua Valley, to say that Mark is an educator at heart does not capture the truth to that statement. He has never lost his cool." Is that true? He's never lost his cool. Well, I guess that is kind of true, I think. The jury's still out, he says. "He's never made a choice that didn't have the best interest of students at heart. He is the consummate educator, coach, and I am thankful that so many others have experienced the joy that I have had working with him my whole life. Best of all, now I get to call him one of my very best friends." So from Nicole, we love you, Mark, but I think the entire room will say the same thing. We love you, Mark. Thank you. Our second recipient this evening is Ms. Janine Stromer from Homewood Flossmoor High School. Now, while Janine is much older than I am, I tell you now that I was one of her cooperating teachers when she student taught, along with John Hyers. So to say we've known you for a long time would be an understatement, since we also knew you when you were in high school as a competitor at Andrew High School. Same story. I think I could talk about you all day, but I asked Mark Urban, she laughs, to say a few words, and he said the following. And note, please, how similar what these individuals have said about their mentors is. Janine Stromer is someone who has served as a mentor to me when I was a young coach trying to build a program from the ground up. Her critiques of my earliest students were written gracefully, and most important, with students in mind. She has always been willing to offer the most genuine advice, and I heeded her wisdom each summer while working together at Prairie State Camp. It is with joy and pride that I have witnessed Ms. Stromer continue the legacy of excellence at Homewood Flossmoor High School. From her predecessors, Tom Sweeney, and from my very first speech coach and teacher, the great late Barry Couts. I know that he is beaming down with gratitude for care and stewardship, and for all of the students and coaches whose lives you have touched with this activity. I wish I'd brought a Bouboutin today, which makes no sense to the rest of you, and that's okay. But I am thrilled to offer this honor to you, Janine, on behalf of myself, all of your students, and John Hyers. Love you. Let's get on with the show.
All right. First, we need to make a special presentation. Every year, the National Federation of High Schools recognize students who participate in their high school arts programs while also overcoming significant adversity or going above and beyond in their school community. Well, this year, please join me in welcoming Pope County High School student Vance Herder. Just wait right there. Let me tell you why Vance has won this award. Vance was born with a vision impairment called retinitis pigmentosa that has rendered him legally blind over the course of his life. Despite that obstacle, he has continued to expand his horizons in high school arts, participating in Scholastic Bowl and speech at Pope County. After excelling in both during his junior year, he joined the school's musical and theatrical programs, competing in the IHSA music competition and the school musical. Despite having to take extra time to learn how to read Braille, Vance still manages to be a member of his school's choir, drama club, FFA program, esports team, student council, and the cross-country team, just to name a few. On top of that, he is on pace to graduate as Pope County's valedictorian this spring. You will also get to see Vance later this evening as he was in the final round. So please join us in recognizing Vance's amazing determination and commitment to the arts with a round of applause as he receives his NFHS certificate from IHSA Speech Administrator Susie Knobloch. All right, just a few housekeeping announcements, and we're going to start, I promise you, giving out all of our individual events state championships. Just to let you know that Ben Stewart will be live tweeting the results. So those of you who want to follow at home, or you can check that out at SpeechWire. This will also be live video streaming at the NFHS network. So you can tell Grandma at home to check that out. And now I'm just going to let you know how we're going to do things because of our unprecedented pandemic times. So what we're going to do is I will announce the finalists in every event, and you will come up on stage. We'll ask that you remain masked the entire time. As we announce the places, 6th place, 5th place, etc., we're going to ask, and Susie will demonstrate here, all of the medals will be here on this table. You will find the appropriate one. If you got 6th place, you will take the 6th place medal, and then you will drape it upon yourself. We're going to call this contactless draping, right? Contactless. So we're going to keep everybody safe. You're going to do this. You're going to smile for a quick photo op, and then you're going to come down here to the official IHSA photographer, and there we can take all kinds of pictures for you and that sort of a thing. So then, after we get through all of the places and determine who the state champion is, we'll ask the state champion to leave the stage this way and to be mic'd, and then they're going to perform their state-winning speech for you. After several years' absence of getting to hear the state championship performances, you will get to see that, and we are going to ask that they will, for a special treat for you, get to perform that unmasked. So we will unmask you, put on your microphone, perform for you, then mask back up, right? And we have several lavaliers that we are also then going to sanitize between every use backstage. So don't worry, we are being very, very cautious. With all of that said, I need to let you know that tab packets will be available online, and your critique forms will be in envelopes just outside there on your way out. And with all of that said, I would like to now announce the winners of performance in the round. So let's give them a round of applause. Here we go. The top 3 places will receive plaques, so we will ask third place and second place to come on up here and receive their trophy. But let's recognize all of the finalists. In 6th place, from Downers Grove South, Inside Out, The Teenage Years. In 5th place, from Wheaton Warrenville South, Cry, Heart, But Never Break. Fourth place in PIR, from Oak Lawn Community High School, To Sleep with the Angels. In 3rd place and receiving a plaque will be Hinsdale Central Radium Girls. Third place from Hinsdale Central. Our state runner-up in performance in the round is Oak Lawn Richards High School, The Truth About Jellyfish. Where are you going to set your music? Do you have a frame for that? Well, typically we can go like backstage in this corner back here. Well, not really. There's not a. We don't have a floor mic or an extra mic. Okay. All right. You're gonna. Third performance. Thank you. Second place from Richards. Right. And now, your state-winning performance by your performance in the round state champions, Glenbard West, We Were There.
Yeah. Guys. Just one over there, one right here.
First time I saw the towers, it was like love at first sight. I mean, they were massive and go straight to the sky, and I remember thinking, this is where I want to be.
When they were first built, the common joke was, welcome to New York, home of the Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, and then the boxes they came in.
On any given Monday through Friday, we might have 70, 80,000 people just in that 16-acre spot. It was like a city within a city.
The view from inside was okay, but I wanted to be up there on the roof. The top of the world, they called it. The view was amazing. I never took it for granted. Each time I was up there, each time, it was a wonder.
Standing on the top of the building with only the sound of the wind, you couldn't hear any of the noise from sitting that high up. Just wind.
And if you were lucky, you could even see the curvature of the earth.
But I saw enough that day. The 11th, I was there.
I was there. I was there. I was there. I was there. I was there.
Tower 1, 91st floor.
I was there.
I was there.
I was there.
We were there.
What a beautiful Tuesday morning it was. The sky was clear blue. Not a single cloud in the sky. They called that severe clear.
Where were you September 11th? Question of the year. I was in my office. The phone rings. It was my dad. Is your TV on? He says. Do you know what's happening? The phone rings and I wake up at 6 o'clock. The meeting I was supposed to attend was moved from Marriott Midtown to Marriott World Trade.
The morning of September 11th, I wasn't actually supposed to be on duty. The captain of Midtown 24 had asked me to pick up the shift for. Best job in the world. Your family. These are your brothers. You can't just quit your family.
The meeting was very important. I bought a new suit, so I felt very confident. Things looked good that day, not a cloud in the sky.
I was in the sky lobby. Everyone was getting off the elevator to go to work, so I got into an empty elevator by myself, and I hit the lobby button. And I was just standing there, whistling, looking at my feet, elevator stuff.
When I got there, I was early, so I walked around the lobby of the World Trade Center, always in awe of what they call the Tree of Life windows, and I took a seat in the lobby.
And then suddenly the whole elevator comes to a stop, and there's this big whoosh of air and a low rumbling sound. And the lights and everything flicker off for a minute, but they come back on. And then I hear another low rumbling sound. I tried opening the doors, but they were stuck.
I remember sitting in the fire truck, sirens blaring, air horns, lights going. I remember saying to myself that I'm on the way to the largest fire of my life.
I don't know if I was nervous about the meeting or what, but I don't remember anything actually startling. But all of a sudden, people were running, and I walked over to the revolving doors, and I looked out, and I couldn't figure out what was happening.
Then a voice came onto the speaker that says there's a fire and someone's coming to get me. So I wait, and I wait, and I wait, and nobody's coming.
I can smell the kerosene in the lobby, and I thought, I better go get my briefcase and head out. And as I'm walking back to where I was sitting, I saw this woman coming through the haze with her hands out. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with her.
Help! Help! I can't see! I can't see anything!
I could tell she was badly burnt, smoldering actually. So I thought to be with her, to stay with her, I didn't think of anything else.
When we got to the lobby, all of the glass was broken and there were cracks in the giant marble.
I can't see anything. There was a big ball of flame. My eyes, I can't see.
This was from the jet fuel. It come down the elevator shaft and blew out the entire lobby.
So anyone standing in his path was dead.
After a minute or two, I got her to calm down just a bit, and I asked her her name.
My name is Jenny Ann LaFeo. I was just going to work. Oh, dear God, I don't want to die. I don't want to die alone.
So I hold her hand and I yell for help, and nobody is coming. People are just running one after the other, and I can see Jenny's clothes are fused to her skin. And while we're sitting there, black smoke and fog starts to surround us, and Jenny keeps saying,
Sacred Heart of Jesus, I don't want to die. Sacred Heart of Jesus, I don't want to die.
The order was, we're going to go up, fight this fire, and get as many people as we possibly can.
The order was, we're gonna go up, fight this fire, and get as many people as we possibly can.
The order was, we're going to go up, fight this fire, and get as many people as we possibly can.
So I asked Jenny, are you Catholic? And she says, yes. And I asked if she'd like to pray the Lord's Prayer with me, and she says, sure. Okay, Jenny, let's say the Our Father. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
And then suddenly I see a sliver of light through the elevator doors. So I think I should try opening them again, and I did, and they opened. Just like that, I couldn't believe I was in the lobby the whole entire time. But as I was walking and looking around, I see all these windows are smashed, and there's all this smoke. And so I walk into the plaza, and I hear this huge thump, like a mini explosion.
When we heard the crashing sounds, it was something we never heard before.
But we knew exactly what it was. Every time it happened.
Another life being lost. It would rattle us for a few seconds.
And then I look up and I see 2 more people jumping, using makeshift parachutes out of tablecloths, looking like they would work for a few seconds. And then don't.
Jenny, can you run? I don't know. Jenny, we need to run. Okay.
And I feel somebody grabbing my wrist.
You have to get out of here! Every time it happened, it would rattle us for a few seconds.
But it was almost motivating us to push even further.
To get the people that were trapped.
So I grabbed the PA system and I announced that we are coming for you.
But we couldn't find an elevator that was working.
So it meant that the firefighters would have to climb. And to the top, that would be 110 stories.
And we moved quietly, wondering about what lay ahead.
And I remember a lieutenant coming up to me. We didn't say anything to each other, we just knew. Eventually, I told that lieutenant to take his firefighters and go upstairs, evacuate and rescue those who are trapped. That lieutenant followed orders, took his firefighters, went upstairs, and as he disappeared into the fog, he turned and he looked at me. That was the last time I saw my brother. His name was Kevin.
True angels. These men, these firefighters, trying not to think of all the fear. All I could think about was these firefighters running up the stairs to help people. They were such good, brave souls. And I do call them angels. Because I think they were. They were doing everything they could that day to make sure people got out of the tower. They went up when they should have gone down. They went up when they should have gone down. They went up when they should have gone down. To save themselves. But they didn't. They went up. True heroes. True angels.
I was on the 91st floor when the blast hit, and it blew me out of my shoes and up against a wall, and I remember being very calm and thinking, I will not leave my kids. My kids will not lose their mom. They will not be orphans. I am getting out, and I am seeing them again. And as we made our way down the stairwell, I thought that if anything did happen to me, to make sure I make the I love you sign in sign language.
I remember everyone evacuating the stairwell was very calm. And I passed this woman, and she was making the I love you sign in sign language. And I remember thinking, that's it. That's why I'm here. Love.
I told everyone it was time to call their family. There were a lot of people making phone calls at the time, calling friends, family, loved ones, communicating fear, anxiety, love.
Mom, it's Steven. Right now I'm okay. It's just really smoky. I just wanted to call you and say how much I love you. And I'll call you when I'm safe. Hey, Mom. Love you. Bye.
Hon, I love you. I don't know what's going on right now, but tell the kids to save this message for their entire life. Tell the kids that they are my entire life. I don't know what's going on right now, but I love you. Bye.
I just wanted to let you know that I love you. I'm stuck in this building in New York, and there's a lot of smoke, and I had to let you know that I love you.
I love you. Goodbye.
I love you. Bye.
I love you. Bye. I love you. Goodbye. I love you. Goodbye.
I love you.
Mic's off.
Bye. With my daughter and my son, we'd always make I love you signs in sign language. So no matter what happens, I have to take my hands, fold them across my chest, and make I love you signs. Because if I didn't make it, if I die here and they found me, they could tell my family, my daughter and my son, that this is the way that they found me. And that in my last moments on earth, I was thinking only of them.
So, when I walked over to the guy sitting in front of Engine 33, I said, here's the deal. It's raw, but it's the deal. We have to go up into Tower 1 and do search and rescue. And one of the guys who was sitting there looked up and he said with the slightest bit of pain in his voice, "We might not make it." And we took a minute, we stopped. We really thought about what he said. We said, "You're right. We might not." So we took the time to take our helmets off, shake each other's hands, and wish each other good luck, and I hope I see you later. That day, I was never more proud to call myself a fireman.
New York City firefighters have this special bond, this level of being and belonging. We become a second family.
No matter what, if you feel afraid, if you feel threatened, these guys will always get you through.
They will tear down a building just to find you. No matter what, we'll never leave another brother behind.
That was the last time I saw my brother. I tried to call him on the radio. Battalion 1 to Engine 33! Battalion 1 to Engine 33! But there was no answer.
Where were you? September 11th.
I was there.
I was there. I was there.
I was there.
Every firefighter, every first responder knew this was dangerous.
They saw the smoke and the flames coming from the tops of the buildings.
And they knew that these people were in their greatest moment of need. And they made that selfless decision to go into that tower and to rescue lives.
For years, my mother would tell me to reach out whenever someone needs help.
She would always tell us that you are your brother's keeper. I had made a promise, I had taken an oath to never leave these guys behind.
If they die, we die. We are not leaving without everyone.
So many people doing extraordinarily unselfish things.
So many people creating a sense of hope. They had taken an oath, and that oath was to help people.
Even if it meant risking their own lives.
Where were you? September 11th.
I was there. I was there.
We were there.
Some days, I can't even go without thinking about it.
But then I hear sirens, smell smoke, hear a crash. I want them back.
I want them all back.
That's all I'll settle for.
All of them. I want everyone who gave everything of themselves back. And I'll tell you how it'll work. Let's play the tape backwards. Start with the shot of the rubble. The dust and the steel rise and untwist and form back into two buildings. The firefighters come down those stairs, backwards from the 91st floor to the 90th to the 89th, all the way down, backwards. Everyone gets out of that building backwards. The guys from ladder truck 33 run backwards as the flames are sucked back into the towers. The smoke billows in reverse, first back into Tower 2 and then Tower 1. The guys take off their gear backwards, they shake each other's hands backwards, and they go home to their families and hug each other backwards. Together again, a family again, with their families again. And that's it. That's how it ends. That's the deal. They stay with us.
But they are with us, just in a different way.
They are anchored to us. They are welded to us. They are bolted to us.
They are grounded us. We see them every day, and in everything we do. And in that regard, we are grateful for their light.
Where were you? September 11th. They were there.
Once again, your state champions in performance in the round, Glenbard West. Photographs over there. The chairs are back here. Grab them and drag them back over there. The chairs are back here. They put them back in this paper. Just go grab them. Keep going. Just go through. That's what I tell you. Yeah, there you go. Just take those with you. Big boys. Keep going. Move it out. Move it out. We are going to continue on. So let me tell you how we're going to do. I'm going to ask the finalists for the next event to join me up here on stage, and then I'm going to ask the finalists for the next event to sit over here in this front row. We're going to call this finalists row. I used to call that untact, but that has something to do with sports, and I didn't really understand what that meant. So finalist row will be right down here. We'll have the finalists up here. So please join me down here in finalist row, the finalists in humorous interpretation, and up on stage, the finalists in dramatic duet acting. Come on down. So exciting to see everybody dressed up and not wearing pajama pants like last year on Zoom, isn't it? All right, in 7th place in dramatic duet acting from Prospect High School, Maya Kusalovich and Luisa Zanon. In 6th place from Oaklawn Community High School, Melanie Cabrera and Miriam Chuli. In 5th place, from Matea Valley, Zaina Sheikh and Peyton Owen. In 4th place, from Coal City, Dylan Ludis and Chloe Peacock. In 3rd place in dramatic duet acting, from Joliet West, Kennedy Doris and Jaron Griggs. Your tournament runners-up From Wheaton Warrenville South, David Allgood and Sam Rizzo. And your state champions in dramatic duet acting. Wait, let me say their names. Hold on. Whoa, hold on. All right, hold on. I know, you're excited. Hold on the phone. Let me say their names so everybody can hear them. So excited. That's great. Here, wait, we're going to practice. I'll say it, and then you can go crazy. Your state champion from Hinsdale South, Cameron Chamberlain and Kate Cianci.
So get in the car, you can ride it wherever you want. Get inside it, and you wanna steer, but I'm shifting gears. I'll take it from here. Oh yeah, yeah, and it goes like this. Take me by the tongue and I know you. Kiss me till you're drunk and I'll show you all the moves like Jagger. I've got the moves like Jagger. I've got the moves.
Are we what? Oh, not really. No, not really. Yeah. Okay, it's bending my teeth.
You wanna know?
Because I know that was on my mask, so I don't really pay attention.
Take control on me just for the night. But if I share my secret, you're gonna have to keep it.
And now, your state champions in dramatic duet acting, Cameron Chamberlain and Kate Cianci.
If I share my secret, you're gonna have to keep it. Nobody else can see this.
And it goes like this. Take me by the tongue and I know you. Kiss me till you're drunk.
Hi, everyone. My name is Olivia. Thanks so much for letting me out. You know what? I'm sorry. I can't do
Hey, Dr. Stevens said this is a safe place, remember?
Yeah, but it's giving
Okay, no one cares about that, all right? You're going to lose them.
This is my presentation.
Listen, if you don't stop talking to me, they're going to think you're having some kind of mental breakdown or something.
I'm not having a breakdown.
I'm dead.
So the topic of my presentation is depression. Here's me when I was 2. See the big smile.
Oh, your smile looks nice there. I mean, for a 2-year-old.
And here's me at 6. The smile is gone. And I really have no clue why. So I guess that's what brings us to today. And to Will. He's no longer with us, but he's the reason I'm still here.
Why don't you tell them about what brought you here? You know, tell them about us.
After Will's death, Olivia copes with her fears and anxieties in a group therapy session.
During a period of immense loss, pain, and silence, Liv finds relief by speaking out.
If you or a loved one ever feel the need to talk to someone, you can always reach out to the suicide hotline at 1-800-873-8255.
Because speaking out is how we get through.
Love, Will.
By Christiana Ackerman.
My internal crisis began with a simple question. His name was Will. He was new to my high school.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm new here.
Okay.
Okay. So, what do you like to do for fun around here?
We stay quiet, we sit still, and we listen.
This place sounds amazing. Hey, can I ask?
No.
Okay. Psst, hey. I'm worried about you.
Okay, this is weird.
This?
You, me, the conversation.
Are you happy?
I'm doing math. Math doesn't make anyone happy.
No, I mean, are you happy, though?
Like right now or in general?
It's a pretty simple question.
Dude, fine. I'm happy.
Jeez. Angry happy?
Oh. And then something kind of strange started to happen. Even though I'd only known him a few weeks, I started to get these letters from Will.
Seriously, don't show these.
They would always show up at just the right time, like this one. Dear Olivia,
I know there are times when you feel alone. Just know that I'm here, and I think the world is an amazing place with you in it. Love, Will.
What did that mean? Love Will? And that made me anxious, and then I started to sweat. A lot, and so I finally just decided to ask him, hey, why are you signing all your letters, Love Will?
I don't know, I just thought that maybe when you feel like no one really likes you, you're wrong. I love you.
Ow, what was that for?
Because, I don't know, thank you?
Yeah, you could have just said that.
See, it's that, it's your honesty, it freaks
Listen,
me
I
out.
just really like you.
Okay, I really like you too.
Okay.
I finally had someone who made me happy. But, Will was never interested in talking about himself.
Oh, stop.
Oh, come on, we're always talking about me. Tell me one thing about
I
you.
said no.
Are you in the witness protection program?
We are not in the witness protection program.
Which is exactly what someone in the witness protection program would say.
You know what? Fine. You want to know more about me? Here. I came to this school because there were problems at my last school.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just all these questions give me anxiety and generally cause me to sweat a lot.
I mean, he totally got me. More than anyone else in the entire world, but things started to change when he started to talk about his future.
What's on your bucket list?
I don't know. How about you?
Trips.
Ooh, what kind of trips?
I take these trips in my head all the time. Come on, let's go on one right now. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And fly. Wow, it's beautiful up here.
Peaceful. Wish we could just soar up here forever.
Forever? What if we're here for another reason? You know, what if we're here to teach others to be happy?
Is the trip over?
There's no trip.
Oh, come on, Will. What's wrong?
I don't know. I just wish I were you.
Will, I wish I were you. You know, if I could just be like everyone else.
You'd be boring.
No, I'd be happy.
You know, I'm not that much different from you. There are things inside of me that...
Will, I just want to talk to you.
I wish you would just let me breathe, you know? I just want to breathe.
Will.
No. I'm sorry. I gotta go.
No, Will. And I guess I never really knew what that meant until it was too late. This is the last letter that I got.
Dear Olivia, I'm sorry for how I talked to you. So, here's the deal. I came to this school to start over after I tried to hurt myself at my last school. And I know I told you that you need to fight through those bad, quiet times, but I can't. So I just wanted to say that I wish I were as strong as you. love, Will.
So? Get help. Find the value of you. I know talking about depression opens the door to dealing with it. I wish people didn't think that being sad was something they had to keep hidden. And I think I'm gonna start writing my own letters. Your Will.
I miss you and wish I got to say this when I had the chance.
You're my only friend.
I love you, Liv.
And while I wish I were still with you, I know there's a lot more work I've got to do here. Love. Live.
All right, if I could have the finalists for humorous interpretation on stage and the finalists in radio speaking with your final scripts right here on Finalists Row. In sixth place, from Hinsdale Central, Tess McCardle. In fifth place, from Waterloo, Emma Wittenauer. In fourth place, from Morris, Nicholas Russell. In third place, from Fenton High School, Carolina Rosas. The state runner-up is from York High School, Nathan Lee. And your state champion in humorous interpretation from Revis, Ana Izquierdo.
You know, I was wondering, if you could keep on, because the force, it's got a lot of power, and it makes me feel like it makes me feel like
And now, your state champion in humorous interpretation, Ana Izquierdo.
Hello,
you must be Mary.
I am. It's a pleasure to meet you, Alex.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Ha, ha, ha.
So, do you want to get something to drink?
Oh, I already talked to the waitress on the way in. She's getting me a latte.
Oh, that's so funny. That's what I'm drinking. So,
here we are.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm pretty nervous. You see, I just broke up with this guy that I've been seeing a while. His name was Tony, but I'm sure you don't want to hear about him. Anyway, I'm just pretty rusty at this whole dating thing.
Oh, well, how long ago did you break up with him?
Yesterday.
Oh. Well, I gotta go.
What? Why?
I'm gay?
Huh?
I have diarrhea.
What?
My mom just died.
So, which one is it?
Diarrhea?
I think I'm just gonna hit the buzzer instead. Dating! Am I right? Mary just broke up with this guy, by Garth Wingfield.
Oh, you must be Mary. And that makes me Darren.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Darren. So, do you want to get something to drink?
Oh, I already talked to the waitress on the way in. She's whipping me up some spaghetti and meat balls.
I didn't know they had that here.
Oh, they don't.
I'm just gonna get this off my chest. I just broke up with this guy that I've been seeing a while, but things were really bad for a really long time, so I'm totally over it. I'm totally not on the rebound.
Oh, well, that sounds great. Hear me out. I say we ditch the pasta, head back to my place. And by my place, I mean my mom's place. But don't worry, she's a heavy sleeper.
I think I'm gonna have to say, I'm responding to your personal ad. I thought what you had to write was really cool. Oh, that's so sweet of you. I think rats are pretty sweet. There's something about them that's just so repulsing and exhilarating at the same time. I remember one time, one used to torment me in my apartment, so I cornered it, poured gasoline all over it, and then I just watched it. Burn. I don't really live there anymore.
I really like the part where you talked about God.
Oh, I don't remember talking about God.
And I think that's a problem. Don't you?
Oh, so Mary, what made you post on datebake.com? Oh, you know, I just thought it was time to put myself out there. Well, I think that is very brave of you, Mary. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of things, I gotta know how you feel about this. What is that? Oh, that? Well, that's a bag of my own hair.
From?
All over my body. You see, I've been collecting since 1992, and I have 167 jars of it. Oh my goodness, Mary! I just love the Upper East Side. There's something about them. The gardens, the stores, the newborn couples pushing their newborn babies into their proms. So, Liam, right? It says on your profile that you're from New Jersey. So, what's up with the accent? Oh, the accent?
Oh, the thing about that is, it's totally fake. Like, I'm totally faking it.
But you know what they say, chicks love guys with accents. Am I right? Am I right?
Am I right, governor?
So, what's your deal?
Oh, me? Well, I'm just a simple carpenter. I like to build cabinet and coffin.
Oh, what's my deal? Well, other than the fact that I can bench press my own body weight.
Oh, you want to know about me? Well, that's so considerate of you. My story is pretty interesting, you see. I am from the Vesperian galaxy, from planet, oh my God, 47.
Murray, I really liked your profile.
Oh, yeah? What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing. I just really liked the way it was designed and all the pictures. I thought it was really cool.
Uh-huh. I bet you just loved my pictures.
I'm not really sure what that's supposed to mean. So, what do you like to do for fun?
Look, I've honestly been at this a long time, and I've met a lot of really strange guys, so I'm honestly just not in the mood for some small talk, okay?
Mary, I think I'm just gonna go.
Just like that, huh?
Well, to be honest, Mary, you're nothing like your profile. From all your pictures, you seem like a madcap, adventure-loving gal. And in reality, well, it was just really nice meeting you.
Wait! Please don't go.
Well, to be honest, Mary, I really have no business being here. You see, I just broke up with this girl that I've been seeing a while.
Really? How long ago?
Like 3 months ago. A month ago. Okay, it was yesterday, but things were really bad for a really long time, and I'm just gonna go.
Actually, I think it's kind of perfect that you're here.
Really? You don't think I'm on some sort of rebound or something?
Well, why don't you order some coffee and let's find out. Am I right?
Let's have the finalists for radio speaking up here on stage. And down here in finalist row, the finalists for impromptu. There were 7 finalists in the final round of radio speaking. In 7th place, from Downers Grove South, Faith Nelson. In 6th place, from Oak Lawn Community High School, Emma Matthews. In 5th place, from Wheaton Warrenville South, Naomi Kelly. In 4th place, from Morris, Joy Dudley. In 3rd place, from Revis High School, Vivian Wong. In 2nd place, from Matea Valley, Tammy Varshny. And your IHSA state champion in radio speaking from Naperville Central, Miriam Tariq. And your state champion in radio speaking, Miriam Tariq.
Economic crisis in Myanmar, the possible all-variant vaccine coming soon, and a mental health victory in Illinois. Good evening, I'm Mariam Tariq, and you're listening to KO Radio News, where our stories are a knockout. Brought to you by Huffman's Farm and Home, everything you need for a perfect match. Dominating international headlines, the military takeover in Myanmar has set its economy back years as political unrest and violence disrupt banking and trade, and millions slide deeper into poverty. The Southeast Asian country was already in recession when the pandemic took hold in 2020. Political upheavals after the army ousted its civilian government last year have heaped further misery on its 62 million people. Now, shaking up South Asia, a powerful earthquake collapsed at least one coal mine and dozens of mud houses in southwest Pakistan on early Thursday, killing at least 23 people. The initial measurement of the quake's strength was 5.7 in magnitude, and the death tally is expected to rise even further as crews continue to search the region. On the national front, a new COVID vaccine is in the works to fight any type of variant. Several groups have been making progress on a universal vaccine, but the government is now the furthest along. Scientists at the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research say their vaccine is now being tested on volunteers. Still, they caution it could take months to find one that works against several coronavirus strains. Unity in the face of violence. The governors of New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania are coming together to share crime gun data. This effort aims to combat gun violence by tracking where illegal guns are coming from and how they're being used. They say sharing this information will help find straw purchasers, firearm traffickers, and other criminals. Turning to Springfield, a new Illinois law is giving students 5 mental health days per school year. Some students are struggling with COVID-related anxiety, depression, and isolation while trying to keep up with their academics. Now, any child 7 years old and up can take a mental health day without having to explain why, and use the time to reset and refocus before heading back to school. Over in the Windy City, an Evanston woman is pleading guilty in federal court to insider trading. Denise Grievous admitted yesterday that she used insider information obtained from her husband to purchase shares of a company. She confessed to making more than $286,000 in illegal profits from the purchase and sale of securities. Grievous now faces up to 20 years in prison. Updates from the Baseball Hall of Fame, your latest NHL scores, and this weekend's weather, coming up after a quick word from our sponsor. When it comes to any painting project, large or small, you can rely on Huffman's Farm and Home to provide everything you need. Valspar's color match technology will make sure you choose the right paint for your project. Need accessories? Huffman's has got it all. See what's new with Valspar's 2022 Colors of the Year at your local paint headquarters. Huffman's Farm and Home, everything you need for a perfect match. And we're back with your sports news. David Ortiz will be a Baseball Hall of Famer, while Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens will not. Ortiz was announced into the National Baseball Hall of Fame's 2022 class on Tuesday. Also known as Big Papi, Ortiz was a 10-time All-Star and also won the World Series championships in 2007 and 2013. Bonds and Clemens did not make the cut in what was their last year on the ballot. Now, skating onto the ice with your NHL scores. Edmonton edged a win over Montreal 4-2. Boston busted out a victory against Toronto 5-2. And the New York Rangers demolished Tampa Bay in a crushing 5-0 match. Your sports are heating up, and finally, the weather is too. Although it will be cloudy tonight with a high of 25 and low of 15, we are finally seeing that sun peek out tomorrow with temperatures rising to the mid-40s. But on Monday, the clouds will return with possible rain showers. So don't take off your coat just yet, but we're getting there. This has been your KO Radio News, where our stories are a knockout. Brought to you by Huffman's Farm and Home. Everything you need for a perfect match. I'm Mariam Tariq. Tune in tomorrow, and remember, get connected, stay informed.
If I could have on finalists row, the finalists in oratorical declamation, and up here on stage, the impromptu speaking finalists. There were 6 finalists in the final round of impromptu speaking. In 6th place, from Pope County, Vance Herder. In 5th place, from Hinsdale Central, AJ Gupta. In 4th place, from Hinsdale South, Matthew Leonardson. In 3rd place, from University High School Normal, Pierce McDade. Your tournament runner-up, Genevieve Getz from Wheaton Warrenville South. And your IHSA 2022 state champion in impromptu speaking, William Chung from Naperville North.
Got it right here. Light rising up. give me like...
Your state champion in impromptu speaking, William Chung.
One day, inventor Richard Drew was in an auto shop when he saw workers struggling to mask one side of a car while painting the other. Now, this scene inspired his next invention, what would later be known as masking tape. Now, at his job, he started experimenting with all different kinds of materials. However, his boss told him to actually stop wasting his time and get back to his actual job. And although Drew complied, he continued his passion outside of working hours, experimenting with everything from vegetable oil to natural tree gums, whatever the heck that is. And while he was experimenting, he found his passion. And later, he was able to create not only masking tape, but also Scotch tape that we know and love today. You see, despite his boss placing that time constraint on him, he continued to keep his balance and thus fulfilled his goal of creating a new invention. And this idea of overcoming any obstacles in front of us brings us to today's quotation by Albert Einstein. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Essentially, what this means is that any obstacles in front of us, pitfalls or potholes, we can overcome, and we should overcome them in order to find success. And we can see this for three key reasons. First, by overcoming physical obstacles, we can find personal success. Second, by overcoming mental obstacles, we can inspire others. And lastly, by overcoming emotional obstacles, we can fulfill the promises that we made. But first, it's clear that we need to overcome physical obstacles in our path in order to find personal success. And this can be seen through Chef Christine Ha. Now, Christine Ha is best known for winning MasterChef Season 3. However, Ha is not your ordinary home cook. You see, Christine Ha is blind. She can cook authentic Vietnamese dishes without even seeing the ingredients, while I can barely scramble eggs with my eyes open. However, Christine Ha's journey to success was not easy at all because she wasn't actually born blind. In her late 20s, she began losing her vision due to an autoimmune disorder. And so one day, she was able to cook grand Thanksgiving dinners for her family, and the next, she couldn't even put together a PB&J. It seemed like her life was completely out of balance. However, she knew, just like Albert Einstein said, that she had to keep moving. And she did. Slowly but surely, she began relearning her way around the kitchen, starting with basic knife skills using a butter knife, and even relearning how to boil water by taking baby steps. But keeping on that path towards her journey, well, she was able to succeed, relearning her way around the kitchen with only 4 senses, and eventually becoming one of America's best master chefs. You see, it's clear. She was able to overcome that physical obstacle in her path by continuing to move towards her goal, and thus found personal success because of it. But second, we also have to see that we need to overcome mental obstacles in our path in order to inspire others. And this can be seen through writer Angela Duckworth. Now, Duckworth was always a very studious person, so much so that she got into Harvard University. But to no one's surprise, Harvard was actually hard. You see, in her first class of neurobiology, she was failing so much so that her professor told her to drop the class entirely. Now, Duckworth did what any rational person would do. She decided to go to the registrar and declare neurobiology as her major. Yeah. You see, she wanted to prove her professor wrong. Despite that mental obstacle her professor imposed on her, she knew in order to keep her balance, she had to keep moving towards her goal. And by declaring neurobiology as her major, well, she would have no choice but to stay on that path. And she did. Slowly but surely, using passion and perseverance, she was able to major in neurobiology and also go on to write her best-selling book, Grit, the power of passion and perseverance, which would go on to inspire so many others with her story. You see, Angela Duckworth knew, just like Albert Einstein said, that to keep her balance in life, in order to major in neurobiology and succeed, she had to keep going step by step. And she did just that, in order to inspire so many others with her book. And lastly, we can see we also need to overcome emotional obstacles in order to fulfill the promises that we made. And this can be seen through weightlifter Matthias Steiner. Prior to the 2008 Olympic Games, Steiner had promised his wife that he would win a gold medal in Olympic weightlifting. However, unfortunately, just the summer before the Games, his wife passed away in a tragic car accident, leaving Steiner in a depressed state. During that time, he lost over 15 pounds, detrimental to an Olympic weightlifter. However, he knew he still had a goal in mind, a promise that he had to keep. And so, in order to keep his balance, he decided to keep pedaling, slowly but surely regaining his weight, making his way back onto the Olympic team, and in the final lift of the clean and jerk, he was able to lift over 15 pounds more than his previous competitor and over 20 pounds more than his previous attempt, solidifying him with that gold medal. You see, Steiner knew exactly what Albert Einstein was saying. Despite that emotional obstacle in front of him, that trauma, he had to keep pedaling in order to stay upright. And he did just that, because on that final podium, he held a gold medal in one hand and a picture of his late wife in the other. So when returning back to today's quotation by Albert Einstein, life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you've got to keep moving. Essentially, what this means is that any roadblocks, obstacles, or potholes in our way, well, we need to overcome them, and we can. By doing so, we can see why it's so important for 3 key reasons. First, by overcoming physical obstacles, we can find personal success like blind chef Christine Ha. Second, by overcoming mental obstacles, we can inspire others like Angela Duckworth. And lastly, by overcoming emotional obstacles, we can fulfill the promises that we made like Matthias Steiner. So when looking back at Richard Drew, we can see despite he had time obstacles in front of him imposed by his boss, well, he knew in order to keep his balance and continue on towards his goal of inventing something, he had to work overtime outside of his work, and he was able to do so, inventing not only masking tape, but also Scotch tape that would go on to better the lives of so many others.
All right, may I have the finalists in oratorical declamation up on stage and the finalists in poetry reading with your books here in finalists row. There were 7 finalists in the final round of oratorical declamation. In 7th place, from Glenbard West, Madeline Yob. In 6th place, from York High School, Reagan Wright. In 5th place, from Prospect, Jongmin Lee. In 4th place, from Homewood Flossmoor, Diamond Carrington. In 3rd place, from Glenbrook North High School, John Bosacoma. Your tournament runner-up in oratorical declamation, Sophia Best from Morris High School. And your IHSA state champion for 2022, Olivia Aiku from Thornton.
Not a yes, sir, not a word. Fit the
a seat in the foyer. Take a number. I was lightning before the thunder.
Thunder, 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 thunder,
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, thunder. Thunder. Kids were laughing in my classes while I was scheming for the masses. Who do you think you are? Dreaming about being a big star. They say you're basic, they say you're easy. You're always riding in the backseat. Now I'm smiling from the stage while you were clapping in the nosebleed.
thunder, thunder, thunder,
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder.
IHSA. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't button. Okay. Thank you.
Your state champion in oratorical declamation, Olivia Aiku.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning.
I have a memory from when I was 9 years old. I remember my parents fighting in the middle of the night. It got so bad that I ran to the bathroom, got down on my knees, and closed my eyes. I put my hands together and I said, God, if you exist, if you love me, you will take me away from this life. Now I'm going to count to 10, and when I open my eyes, I want to be gone. Do you hear me? And I was really believing it. 1, and then I got to 8, 9, 10. And I opened my eyes, and I was still there. But he did take that life. You see, he left me right there so when I gained vision, strength, and forgiveness, I could remember what it means to be in trauma, what it means to be a child who dreams and sees no physical manifestation of it. I could remember because I lived it. I find it funny when people say, my past has nothing to do with me. Because then I have to tell them, it does. Whether you believe it or not, we spend a lot of time running from our past. Actress and keynote speaker Viola Davis encourages us to proudly own every memory and every experience. In the 2019 Barnard College commencement ceremony, she teaches us to embark on the hero's journey, where you don't run from your past, you embrace it. The hero's journey, it's bigger than you, by Viola Davis. I'm going to make it plain. History is not the past, because we are our history. You see, your existence is an amalgamation of every triumph, every hard-won battle, every woman who had an idea and massaged it and had the courage to use it to change the world. It's for every person who survived slavery, Jim Crow, and the Black Codes, to the Trail of Tears, wars, and passed their dreams on to you of love, of hate. But you are also a product of the other, of silence, of apathy, of ancestors who suppressed dreams and ideas, who died with lost potential, with horrific memories of sexual assault and mental illness, who didn't feel good enough or pretty enough or enough. Even your anxiety is a part of your history. And yet here you are, privileged and blessed. So how about this as a novel idea? How about owning it? Owning all of it, the good and the bad. Own the fact that the 39 delegates who wrote the greatest document ever written, with the greatest mission statement, all men are created equal, wrote it when slavery was an institution. Native Americans were being slaughtered and women were fighting for their lives. Own the 100 years of Jim Crow. Restrictions against Native Americans, Hispanics, Jews. Own every gun-toting, violent, hate-filled shooter, and own the fact that that is America. But also own every heroic deed and every great idea. Own all of your memories and all of your experiences. Even if they were traumatic, own it. Own it. The world is broken because we're broken. Who said that all of who you are has to be good? All of who you are is who you are. And sometimes it hurts, but you rage, you battle it out, you ask why. And then you forgive. And you use your strength and your vision to heal, to empathize. And that empathy creates a road fueling us with everything we need to become the warrior. But not everyone chooses that road, because you do have a choice. You can think that your path is all about you and your success, how high you can climb in your status in your career. Or you can take the save the world approach, where you have a vision and you will change the world because you are different. Now, the first choice requires you to be in complete denial of the outside world, of your history, of who you really are. And the second requires you to only deny the really bad stuff so that saving the world seems possible. Now, those are both two dead-end ideas, resulting in well-intentioned, enthusiastic people doing absolutely nothing. All because of a continuous pursuit to ignore everything that makes us human. Now everyone tells you this cap to personal success is what you gotta hit, and then you hit it. And what's next? Disillusionment, exhaustion, isolation, the imposter syndrome, and a loss of passion. Why? Because no one talks about the real final cap, the real ceiling. What really matters is living life for something bigger than yourself. As you journey forth, you will meet your greatest fears, and you will either be defeated or you will overcome and face your greatest fears. This is where you seize the sword, the insight, the treasure. Now, I'm sure that every single one of you in this room has gone through something in your life, and you've survived it. But not only did you survive it, but you took that trauma, that hurt, that revelation, or whatever it was, and you used it to connect, to give, to influence. And that is the hero's journey. Choosing a higher cause above your own. That's the holy grail, the elixir. What's your elixir? I jumped out of a plane recently. Lost my mind for like 30 minutes or so, but I did it. And when you're flying up in the plane, you're anticipating the jump. Your heart is beating, you're praying, you're doing everything possible to prepare. And then your instructor says, it's time. So this is how I'm going to end it. When you put your legs outside of that plane, he tells you to put your hands up, lay your head back, and then you fall. You take the leap. So today, with my hands up, what I'm saying is that on this day of your genesis, of your leap, of your commencement, of your mark in your history, perhaps your legacy is simply this, that you can either leave something for people, or you can leave something in people. And that is the ultimate elixir.
Wonderful. May I have on finalist row the finalists from extemporaneous speaking, and may I have up on stage with your books our poetry reading finalists.
feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream.
There were 6 finalists in the final round of poetry reading. In 6th place from Fenton, Carissa Lara. In 5th place from Harrisburg, Kirsten Eversman. In 4th place from Glenbard West, Tommy Sear. Third place from Thornton Fractional North, Destiny Owens. In 2nd place in poetry reading, from Revis Bella Moreno. Does she look familiar? I hope you liked that last speech, because you're going to get to hear her again. Your state champion in poetry, Olivia Aiku. There you go.
Like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. I love it. Love game, intuition, play the cards with spades to start. And after he's been hooked, I'll play the one that's on his heart. I'll get him hard, show him what I got. I'll get him hard, show him what I got.
And your tournament champion in poetry reading, Olivia Aiku.
Let me just say that I am a very beautiful person. I'm sweet and intelligent and funny, woo, and awkward. And I just had to say that, only because I'm a little tired of the stereotype about the angry black woman. Whoop-de-doo, right? Because as you can see, I am black and a woman. And I'm not angry at all. Beneath the coverings of a blackest beautiful body lies the many untold struggles of the black woman. In a society birthed by her but built to subdue her, she fights internal and external wars with racism, sexism, homophobia, and classism. Angry Black Woman. Poetry by Portia Olaiwola and Ronald Vinson. We pledge allegiance to your flag of the United States of America and to your republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. For who? For you? For some, not for us. not for our people, so please stop saying we're equal. With your flag of red, white, and blue in one hand, you beat us. Until we're black and blue with the other, beat us. Until we're numb, beat us until we can't walk straight, and then you put us in chains. If we're lucky. But for the ones of us who not so lucky, you tell us to put our hands up, a tribute to your privilege, and then you pull the trigger. Pull the trigger until our bodies lay down on your ground. Pull the trigger until your clipper's empty. Pull the trigger until we make your evening news. And when our children cry, we have to look our children in the eyes and tell them that they have to be cautious. That when they walk your streets, they have to do so in fear. That they have to spend an entirety of their life looking over their shoulders because you will hunt them down and you will bury them in a prison system that aims to disenfranchise them. We are the dirt beneath their feet. And this is all because of that same racism that you love to say no longer exists. Because as you can see, I am black and a woman, and I'm not angry at all. Hell, I'm pissed off. I'm mad as hell. I'm so mad I'm getting ready to break my foot off in everybody's behind. Mad because education is key, yet they keep the poor locked out. They get hand-me-down books and hand-me-down chairs and hand-me-down teachers who give them hand-me-down stares. I'm pissed off at gentrification. Pissed that the rich be Robin Hoods and mad that Robin Hood was just another damn myth. I'm mad because Barbie is the standard of beauty. I hate that fruits and vegetables are so expensive. So how the poor gon' eat healthy off some damn tater chips? I'm mad that the government and media are controlled by the same people. And those same people are the same people who control everything. I'm mad. I hate that I only got 8 minutes to say this poem and I got about 10 minutes worth of angry. I'm mad that I can't say I'm a socialist out loud. Mad that gays and lesbians can't be out loud and proud in the military. Let me ask y'all a question. When y'all turn on y'all TVs and witness another black bunny lay down on your concretes, what do y'all see? Another murder? Another sad story? Another funeral? Do you see the aftermath? I see another child that lost their father. Another single woman trying to raise a man, another broken home, which leads to another child that grows up and suffers the same fate as their father, which means another black woman that outlives the life of her adolescent son in this country, right? Let me just say that I am a very beautiful person. I'm sweet and intelligent and funny and awkward. And I just had to say that. I'm mad because only 28 states allow everyone to unite in holy matrimony. And while I appreciate civil unions, screw civil unions. If I move to another state than the state of my civil union, what good is that going to do for me in the state of Wyoming? And believe it or not, I'm still pissed off about slavery. That's right, I'm still mad. Because I still pick cotton off of clothes racks and of rack up operations. Mad and sick because any minute sister girl is going to turn around and call me out my name. I'm mad at black men for reasons I don't even have time to list. I'm mad at hip hop I'm mad at black on black crime. I'm mad that Rick Ross got all the crack. And we can't turn that ship back. I'm pissed off. I'm mad. Because above everything, at any given time, in any given space, I, as a black woman, can suffer from racism, sexism, homophobia, classism. I can be raped, be burned alive, and no one, not a single soul, would look up to acknowledge my absence from this universe. Because I am insignificant. Because I am a black woman. And finally, you see, I have every right to be mad. But most of the times, despite what you believe, I'm really, really sweet.
Please let me have the finalists for Extemp up here on stage and the finalists for Original Oratory down here in Finalists Row.
I hopped off the plane at LAX with a dream, my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame excess. Am I gonna fit in? Jumped in the cab, here I am for the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign. This is so crazy.
There were 6 finalists to the final round of extemporaneous speaking. In 6th, from Homewood Flossmoor, Aaron McIntyre. In 5th place, from Sandburg, Iman Kwasmia. In 4th place, from Hinsdale South, Matthew Leonardson.
I say I'm too late. Got nothing.
In 3rd place, from Wheaton Warrenville South, Grace Morgan. Your tournament runner-up in extemporaneous speaking, Luke Fosdick from Neuqua Valley. And your state champion in extemporaneous speaking, AJ Gupta from Hinsdale Central. Your state champion in extemporaneous speaking, AJ Gupta.
Look at you, listening to Spotify
In
while
2007, right before the Munich Security Conference, then President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, told his foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, over and over and over again, "Mi Ruski," translating directly into English as "we are Russian." And he's right. He's Russian to invade Ukraine, Russian straight into the arms of China, and Russian to hack the United States. because most recently, the Ukraine issue has been at the top of concerns for world leaders. As an article from the Stratford Global Intelligence explains, on February 3rd of this year, that as Russia amasses 130,000 troops on the Ukrainian border, what seems to be a potential invasion of the country.
Do whatever it is you're doing. That's exactly why it makes sense to promote your business here. Yeah, your business. Whether you have 2 employees or 2,000, your voice can reach as broad or as narrow of an audience as you need. And
our very own Vice President Kamala Harris has been slotted to attend the conference as U.S. engagement increases. And so considering that a potential Russian invasion
with them
of
where
Ukraine
visual media can't.
the lives of
Try it today at adstudio.spotify.com or tap the banner to learn more.
That we ask today's question. To what extent
what
will
a
U.S.
vibe.
engagement
Yo,
in the Munich
I love
Security
how the
Conference in
4
Germany
members all
impact
sound so
Russian
different.
invasion?
I'm Kathleen Scher. And I'm Allison Toy. On our show, Lion Share, we get to feature full songs alongside their stories when we highlight Asian artists every week in our Music Plus Talk Show, a new type of show created with Spotify's free podcasting platform, Anchor.
With Anchor, you can add any Spotify song into your episodes and combine them with talk segments by you to create a Music Plus Talk Show.
Want to make your own? It's easy. All you have to do is head to anchor.fm/musicplustalk and download the Anchor app.
And perhaps most importantly, because Vladimir Putin's already made up his mind. You see, one of the reasons as to why U.S. engagement will only start Stalin efforts in the short term is because there's no real executive body backing the Munich Security Conference in the first place. In fact, as the Der Spiegel, a German newspaper, explains on January 25th of this year, that historically, the Munich Conference has only been treated as a diplomatic talk. It doesn't have contractual obligations or the ability to, say, freeze assets or implement sanctions on any country or person, meaning it doesn't have the bite to its bark to actually force the Russian regime into compliance. And in doing so, Stephen Pfeiffer, a Russian analyst at the Brookings Institute, explains on February 11th of this year that what the Munich Security Conference can actually do is vague. Vague is the kind of word you put into Wordle on your first guess. It's not something you want describing the executive powers of the Munich Conference. And because there are very little executive authorities that the Munich Conference can actually push through, these Western powers aren't going to have enough leverage over the Russian regime to truly force them to side with our concessions. Meaning U.S. engagement, no matter how large in the Munich Security Conference, simply isn't enough to truly impact Russian impacts in invasion over Ukraine in the short term. It's true that the U.S. came rushing in to help fix the situation because they recognize the importance of U.S. involvement in international affairs. But unfortunately, U.S. engagement in the talks isn't going to change the crucial power dynamics at play in order to make any true, tangible change. As an article from The Economist put it on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, that would go better in extemporum because Valentine's Day is a joke for extempors, but But as that article explains, the United States has already entrenched itself as being anti-Russia, meaning U.S. engagement in this talk doesn't change the facet of Western powers. You see, as that same article continues on, if we had countries like Turkey who are more in between Russia's sphere of influence and the Western European powers, that might have some influence. But U.S. engagement doesn't have direct influence, especially considering the other side of the coin as well. As a different article from Germany, this time at the Deutsche Welle, explains on January 27th of this year, that the CSTO, or the Collective Security Treaty Organization, is a group of former Soviet states in which Russia controls collective security for. And these nations are handedly in the side of Russia, meaning that as the United States is entrenched in its ideology, and as Eastern European powers simply aren't going to change their position either, U.S. involvement isn't going to change the true power dynamics at the conference, demonstrating that U.S. engagement isn't actually going to change the threat of Russian invasion in the long term. Now, what we saw literally in the past week is that President Biden said that Putin has made the decision to invade Ukraine. Unfortunately, he hasn't made the decision to stop posting shirtless pictures of himself. Like Vlad, we don't need to see it again. But For Putin, he's already made up his mind and made his decision, meaning no U.S. engagement can actually change that in the first place. As an article from The Hill explains on January 28th of this year, that Putin's grand strategy since he was president is that he's always wanted to rebuild the Soviet Union. In fact, one time in the 1990s, he called the dissolution of the Soviet Union the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the 20th century. Right. Because of all the geopolitical catastrophes in the 1900s, the dissolution of the Soviet Union was one of them. Right above World War II, I'm sure. And unfortunately, that means that U.S. engagement isn't actually going to change Putin's mind because he's already made it up in the first place. As the Washington Post continues, on January 29th of this year, that in rebuilding the Soviet Union, Vladimir Putin needs to overtake Ukraine in order to prevent further Eastern European integration into NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, demonstrating that because Vladimir Putin has this impetus to invade Ukraine for his own geopolitical gains, the U.S. involvement in the Munich Security Conference isn't going to change that. In fact, Vladimir Putin is still going to be steadfast in his ambitions. And so considering that the lives of 40 million Ukrainians could literally change overnight, we had to ask today's question. To what extent will U.S. engagement of the Munich Security Conference impact Russian invasion over Ukraine? And we saw that the answer was very little impact, because it won't change the position of Russia. More specifically, because first, the Munich conference lacks executive authority. Second, because U.S. involvement won't change the power dynamics at play. And finally, because Vladimir Putin's already made up his mind. So even though Putin that day in 2007 was Russian to do a lot of bad things, it seems like, unfortunately, he's not going to be Stalin in getting them done.
Well, do you think that word will really work for me in Wordle? I got to try that. Anyway, could I have up here the finalists in original oratory and the finalists in dramatic interpretation down in finalists row? There were 7 finalists in the final round of original oratory. In 7th place, from Downers Grove South, Samantha Wiggins. In 6th place, from Wheaton Warrenville South, Brianna Edenburn. In 5th place, from York, Grace Stewart. In 4th place, from Belleville West, Amy Barger. In 3rd place, in original oratory, from Eisenhower, Jayla Mabry. In 2nd place, from Oaklawn Community High School, Mariana Salazar. And your state champion in original oratory 2022, Yashis Sardisai from Neuqua Valley.
So serious. So raise your glass if you are wrong in all the right ways. On the underdogs, we will never be
And your tournament champion in original oratory, Yashis Sardisai.
Don't you understand? Wish you just freak out. Can't stop coming in hot. I should be locked up right on the.
I love reading the news, which is why for years on speech I competed in extemp. And hey, Ajay, look at me. I get tons of Valentines. But my AP government teacher, who, by the way, isn't one of my Valentines, recently asked me a pretty simple question that I was stumped by. Tell me everything about your city council. I mean, I could Google their names, but I still wouldn't know who they were or what they stood for. Normally, there's a pretty easy solution to that. Just read my local newspaper. But the Columbia Journalism Review noted on December that during the pandemic, thousands of local outlets laid off their reporters, including ones at my own. That means there's very little coverage of city council meetings. Tons of high school football, but not enough about who's actually running the city. And I'm one of the lucky ones. I actually have a local newspaper. The Washington Post on November 30th of 2021 noted that in the last 15 years, a quarter of all local newspapers have folded, leaving all of us less informed about our own communities. So today, let's dive into our local news crisis by examining the causes, effects, and solutions of origami, because papers are folding. This problem has become so widespread that there's a name for communities that don't have local papers: news deserts, which the University of North Carolina's local media center defines as communities with limited access to credible news. Today, Hamilton and Pulaski counties, right here in southern Illinois, with a combined population of 15,000, don't have a single local paper between them. The good news is they still have Facebook. The bad news is they still have Facebook. The primary cause of these news deserts are twofold. We're apathetic, and there are structural issues in the way. First, we're not aware that news deserts are forming, and quite frankly, a lot of us just don't care. A Pew Research Center study from September of 2019 found that 70% of Americans wrongly believe that their local newspaper is doing well financially, even though less than 15% of them pay for local news themselves. And without subscriptions, local papers are struggling to survive. And that lack of reporting means that people are taking advantage of anything they can get their hands on. Just look at COVID. A 2020 study from the peer-reviewed journal Current Medical Research and Opinion found that people without local outlets were less informed about how the pandemic is affecting their communities. News deserts leave us starving for civic understanding. But it's not just our fault. There are structural barriers standing in the way of local news success. As journalist Margaret Sullivan wrote in her 2020 book, Ghosting the News, as advertisers moved away from local papers towards social media sites and Google, local media was left with less money, which meant smaller staffs, fewer reporters, and ultimately fewer subscribers. It's a race to the bottom. Even large market papers, like the once massive Chicago Tribune, weren't safe. As The Atlantic's McKay Coppins found in a November 2021 cover story, the Tribune was bought out by a hedge fund last May that he said was more interested in making money than actually producing quality journalism. There's cash in clickbait, but not nearly enough reward in reporting. In January of 2020, the New Yorker's Charles Bethea went down to Pollexville, North Carolina, a town of just 300 people, to analyze the damage in the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. He found that many people didn't even have access to emergency resources because the paper that would have normally told them about those things had gone out of business. But the effects of local news dying are unsettling everywhere. We miss out on the real stories, and we lose a vital tool to build trust. First, when local news falls, we miss stories that matter. Just look at the Flint water crisis. A 2020 paper in the journal Local Environment noted that the regulatory failures that led to that crisis were only exposed because of the small town reporters who covered it, who eventually got the attention of larger media outlets. If you're only watching cable news or reading national newspapers, you're probably not learning much about your local mayor or superintendent, because those outlets just have different priorities. It works the other way around, too. As Pulitzer Prize winner Art Cullen explained to NPR's Fresh Air in September, his paper, The Storm Lake Times, has long been an advocate for immigrants and underrepresented groups in their communities. There's always a local connection to national stories. But it's not just that we're missing out on these critical stories. Local news' decline means that we are losing civic understanding. The nonpartisan John Knight Foundation found last year that people without local newspapers were less than half as likely to vote. And while everyone has opinions about Fox News or MSNBC's political leanings, you're not going to find those same arguments about, say, the Peoria Journal-Star. Local news enjoys support across the political spectrum. The Pew Research Center found in August that 75% of Americans support it, compared to just 46% that supported the news at large. Local news is a lot like Wordle. It's popular, it's getting bought out by rich people, and I'm worried they're going to ruin what makes it special. Local news has always been a driving force in journalism. A 2019 analysis conducted by Stanford researchers found that even though they were only a quarter of all media outlets, they produced more than half of all original reporting coming out of those communities. Thankfully, it's possible for us to create news oases in these news deserts. And we can do so in two ways. First, we need to support local news. And second, local news needs to support us. The easiest way we can help local papers is also the most obvious. Subscribe. Duh. The fact is that this is a financial problem that requires financial solutions. Harvard's Neiman Journalism Lab explained in September of 2020 that readers are willing to pay, it's just that they don't always think to pay for local news. Getting them to realize that might take a miracle, or it might just take a pandemic. The Poynter Institute noted on December 16th of 2020 that when COVID first hit, digital subscriptions to local papers increased by over 50%, mainly because consumers appreciated that information at a time when we needed a lot of it. And digital news may be the way forward for local outlets looking for new audiences, whether that's investing in podcasts or going online only. But we also need to realize that local news is a two-way street. Journalists need us just as much as we need them. Take Block Club Chicago. It was founded in 2017 by a group of journalists who wanted to create a news website that focused exclusively on their communities. They built a sustainable business thanks to a subscriber base that cared about all things local, without the fluff. The Colorado Sun and the Daily Memphian work the same way, offering nonpartisan, in-person reporting that subscribers can't find anywhere else. And readers have responded with their credit cards, because as they told CNN last year, they finally feel that reporters care about them. And isn't that how good journalism should always be? You know, here in oratory, and really in all of speech, we're all just telling stories. And through it all, we rely on local news to help us uncover those problems and then tell those stories. After looking at the causes, effects, and solutions of local news' decline, it's clear that significant problems remain, but there's reason to have hope. Because, like origami, even folding papers can turn into something beautiful.
All right, if I could have down in finalists row, the finalists from informative speaking, and up here on stage, the finalists from dramatic interpretation. There were 6 finalists in the final round of dramatic interpretation. In 6th place, from Morris Kenzie Puckett. In 5th place, from Hinsdale Central, Jack Huber. In fourth place, from Glenbard West, Madeline Yob. In third place, from Downers Grove South, Ryan Rossignol. Your tournament runner-up in dramatic interpretation, from Matea Valley, Peyton Owen. Your tournament champion in dramatic interpretation, from Delavan, Micah Wagoner. All right, your tournament champion in dramatic interpretation, Micah Wagoner.
I do not like small talk. In fact, I hate it. I mean, it's so awkward, you know? You don't know when someone's going to bring up a conversation that you just don't want to talk about. I mean, everybody has that one specific subject. As soon as it comes up, you just want to switch the topic to like the weather or something. I mean, people will ask about your usuals. They'll ask about your likes and your dislikes and your hobbies and your family and your family. That's usually when I start talking about the weather. Personally, I think one of the hardest things to do in life is to understand someone, especially girls. I just don't get them. You see, David, the boy in this piece, learns that when you love someone, you try your best to understand them. And when you don't understand them, you love them anyway. To loving his brother, Jack, the Lionheart, by Bobby Labetta. You know, it's funny, because I always wanted a brother. But when my mom was pregnant, I literally thought there was a monster growing inside her belly. And when Jack was born, I thought he looked like a lizard. But I was so excited. I mean, I finally have somebody to play with all the time. You know, when Jack was old enough to walk, I called him Jack the Lionheart. You know, after Richard the Lionheart. Man, we would slay dragons together and we would save the princesses. It was fun. It really was. Jack had normal development until about 18 months, when things he once could do, he just wouldn't do anymore. And after a while, Jack was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, one of the most severe cases of it. After that, Jack and our adventures came to a stop. I found a new love, football. And I'm not going to brag, but I was pretty good at it. You know, my life looked like it was heading in the right direction. But Jack, now 6 feet tall, over 300 pounds, still couldn't understand when something didn't feel right or he didn't get something that he wanted. It would cause him to go into fits where he would hit and attack anybody around him, including me and my parents. It was so hard on my parents. one morning, my mom walked into my room real early, and she had this sad look on her face. And she came up to me and she said, "David, you know I love you, right?" And I said, "Of course, Mom, I love you too." And then she said, "You know, sometimes in life you have to do what's best for yourself. You understand?" And then she kissed me and left crying. And that was the last time I ever saw my mom. But my dad held strong, though. He got a second job, and I had to take care of Jack more often, of course. I mean, I didn't see my friends, and I had to quit football. But it was fine at first, you know. I tried teaching him how to talk. I started with something simple. I tried, Jack, say, "I love you." And he would say something like, "Pizza." Because food was the only thing he'd ever say. And he'd always say it wrong. He'd say like, "Pizza." No, Jack. Jack, say, "I love you." No, Jack. Jack, do you love me? Pizza. It was a Wednesday afternoon. I came home and immediately, "Jack, hit me, Jack." And then he ran off screaming. You know, I've never hit Jack. I was always good to him. But this was beginning to become way too much. So I walked up to him and he hit me. And then he hit me again. And then I slapped him. And I hit him, and I punched him, and I punched him. And is this fun to you, having to be hit over and over by your own brother? I mean, I know you don't understand me, but I am your brother. I am your brother. And I've given up everything for you, and what do I get in return? A house with no mom, a dad who's never there, and it's all because of you! But then Jack, the lion heart, he walked over to me and he took my hand. I'm sorry. I love you. I love you. And then Jack, for the first time, he said back to me, "I love you too."
May I have the finalists of informative speaking up here on stage, and down here in finalists row, humorous duet acting finalists, please. There were 7 finalists in the final round of informative speaking. In 7th place, from Schaumburg High School, Mera Pradipan. In 6th place, from Revis, Hannah Zuniga. In 5th place, from Thornton High School, Jayla Hogg. In 4th place, from Nequa Valley, Aditi Vadaka. In 3rd place, from Wheaton Warrenville South, Grace Morgan. Your tournament runner-up in informative speaking, Samantha Wiggins from Downers Grove South. And your state champion in informative speaking, Carissa Laura from Fenton High School. Yeah, put on your medal. Ready? Take a breath. All right, your state champion in informative speaking from Fenton High School, Carissa Lee. Laura.
When I was a little girl, I was obsessed with tea parties. I would sit on my dolls around the table and drink my tea pinky up, pretending I was the elegant English queen lording over my plastic subjects. Of course, pretend is the key word here, because once tea time was over, my siblings and I would run around and play the smell your butt game. The game went exactly how it sounds. As I grew up, I never lost my affinity for tea, and I'm not alone. After water, tea is the most consumed beverage in the world and has a global industry value of $21 billion. However, the influence of tea isn't limited to grocery store aisles. In fact, for better or for worse, tea in all forms is influencing the trajectory of science, culture, medicine, and the entire global community. So today, we'll first get this tea party started by discussing the history and ecology of tea. Next, we'll explore some controversies surrounding tea. And finally, we'll identify medicinal breakthroughs on the horizon. Now get ready, everyone, because I'm about to spill some major tea. About 1 million tea parties ago, legend has it that on a pilgrimage to China, the Buddha vowed to meditate nonstop for 9 years, but eventually fell asleep. Outraged by his weakness, he cut off his own eyelids and threw them to the ground. Where they fell, a tree with eyelid-shaped leaves took root, creating the very first tea leaves, an eye-opening discovery for the Buddha and the rest of the world. According to an article published August 6, 2021 in the journal Frontiers in Nutrition, tea was originally discovered 2,000 years ago in China, but didn't reach the West until the 17th century.
Although popular, tea was a luxury few could afford. In her book, The Dark History of Tea, historian Saren Hollins says that even a pound of the least expensive tea would cost the average worker a month's wages. To reduce price, merchants would lace tea with other substances like sheepstung or lead. 400 years and many regulations later, while there are thousands of varieties, there are only 4 basic types of tea: black, green, oolong, and white. And they're all derived from the same plant, the Camellia sinensis. Teas derived from other plants like peppermint and hibiscus are called teaseings, which savvy marketing teams eventually rebranded as herbal tea. Marketing teams, however, don't hold a monopoly on tea-based innovation, as tea is now being used to create non-traditional items like memory foam mattresses and pillows, toilet paper, and sustainable leather, signifying that a new tea party has begun. When American colonists dumped 342 chests of tea into the Boston Harbor, tea became an OG conflict commodity. And nearly 250 years later, thanks to various controversies, tea is still landing in hot water. According to an April 3rd, 2021 investigative piece by the U.S. Sun, tea plantations in Malawi that supply tea stamped slavery-free to top global companies are under investigation after female workers reported that their wages were illegally docked after they refused their managers' sexual advances. And in Western Uganda, nearly 40,000 children work as tea pickers, earning only 30 cents a day. Understandably, big brands are facing pressure to remedy the exploitation of workers in their supply chain, because tea labeled slavery-free should actually be slavery-free. Moreover, the controversies don't end with human rights abuses. Despite the myriad studies and anecdotal claims, the National Institutes of Health says that no definitive conclusions have been set on the health benefits of tea. However, that hasn't stopped many companies from making misleading, dangerous claims about the drink. According to an article published March 6, 2021 in Wired magazine, last year, the FTC filed a $15 million judgment against Teami, one of the many companies claiming their detox teas would help consumers lose weight, fight cancer, unclog arteries, and decrease migraines. These unsubstantiated claims prey on the sick and vulnerable, while also promoting thinness as wellness. The side effects of these teas include nausea, diarrhea, and even liver damage, which companies frame as toxins leaving the body. In reality, these teas contain senna, an herbal laxative. So, any weight lost on a tea tox is probably just water and poop, a logical result from a product that's full of crap. Despite the miracle health claims, there's only one tea-based drug that's FDA approved for therapeutic use: Verogen, which is used to treat genital warts. While this is great for Verogen users, who could probably use the good news, there are also other exciting health possibilities brewing in the kettle. According to a study published February 12, 2021 in the journal Nature Communications, EGCG, an antioxidant found in green tea, increases levels of P53, a critical tumor-suppressing protein. Researchers believe that this points to a new target for cancer drug discoveries, an area where progress is always welcome. Furthermore, many of the most groundbreaking studies center around ayahuasca, a South American hallucinogenic herbal tea used by shamanic healers for spiritual purposes. A September 28, 2021 article published in the journal Translational Psychiatry found DMT, the psychoactive ingredient in ayahuasca, promotes neurogenesis, the formation of new neural brain cells. Neurogenesis can help mitigate symptoms associated with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So scientists hope that ayahuasca can be utilized
to develop new therapies for these heartbreaking illnesses. Additionally, thanks to its effect on serotonin receptors, ayahuasca tea could potentially treat a wide range of disorders, including PTSD, addiction, and depression. Unfortunately, the DMT in ayahuasca is a Schedule I controlled substance, making it difficult to gain approval for further study. However, public and scientific demands for research on psychedelic plants like cannabis and ayahuasca continue to increase, signaling the possible dawn of a new social and scientific reality. Don't worry, you're not tripping on a strong cup of ayahuasca. There really is that much tea about tea. While I no longer lord over tea parties with my dolls, tea's influence on society still reigns supreme. Today we discussed the history and ecology of tea, explored present controversies, and identified medicinal breakthroughs on the horizon. Because while tea is fit for a queen, it's meant for the world.
All right, will the finalists of humorous duet acting join me up here on stage? And can we have in finalist row the finalists in prose reading? There were 6 finalists in the final round of humorous duet acting. In 6th place, from TF North, Emma Green and Christina Olawole. In 5th place, from Wheaton North, Holden Peterson and Marcos Rodriguez. In 4th place, from Matea Valley, Lauren Vertine and Saish Putina. In 3rd place, from Thornton High School, Yalari Trice and Isaiah Garner. In 2nd place in humorous duet acting, from Hinsdale South, Daryl Mondane and Grace Savengros. And your state champions in humorous duet acting, Jack Huber and Nico Kuiperman from Hinsdale Central. And your state champions in humorous duet acting, Jack Huber and Nico Kipperman.
It's a rectangle.
That's awesome.
John, I'm looking at your resume and I just have to be honest with you.
Oh, God.
Frankly, you're perfect. You got the job.
Really? Wow, I mean,
Shut up.
Oh.
Hey, Sheila, I found the one. Torch the files.
Oh.
So, before I can put you on the payroll, there's just one small formality we gotta work through. It's just a quick exam.
Oh, you mean like a written questionnaire or something?
No, it's just a psychiatric exam.
Oh.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hello, Jonathan. I'm Doctor.
Did you just...
Doctor.
It's nice to meet you, Doctor. We all have those moments in our lives that we are truly scared for, like a job interview.
Yeah, or going swimming at summer camp.
How is that scary?
The water is really cold.
Okay, and?
Oh my God, when you get out of the water.
Oh. Shrinkage by Andrew Messer.
John, why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, since you already have my resume there, what else would you like to know?
Oh, John, are you hesitant to tell me about yourself?
Oh, no, not at all. I just didn't want to bore you with repetition, that's all.
Ha! Bore me? John, you could never bore me with the details of your life, and frankly, if you wanted to, I'm actually paid to listen.
I mean, I bet you get paid pretty handsomely just hearing me talk, huh?
What are you implying, John? Are you saying that people merely work for money? Is that the only reason you may want this job?
No, sir. I was just trying to make a little joke.
Oh, well, it wasn't a very funny witticism, John. You see, if I was so concerned about money, I would have stayed as a dancer at Chippendales.
You were a Chippendales dancer?
No, John. That was a joke. But it did seem to pique your curiosity quite a bit. Tell me, are you interested in male dancers?
No?
Okay. Let's get started with some hypothetical questions then. Say you find a wallet on the ground with $63 and an Arby's gift card in it. What do you do?
I would pick it up and return it to the owner.
Interesting. Now, say the owner was deceased.
Okay. Then I would return it to a relative of the owner.
Okay. Now, say you would just kill the owner in a failed mugging and pick the wallet up off the ground out of a pool of blood.
I'm sorry, what? Look, I would never kill someone over their wallet.
Oh, so what would you kill them over?
Nothing.
You would kill someone over nothing?
No, that's
Next
not what I said.
question. Say you and an elderly lady are standing on the deck of a sinking ship, and there are only 2 spots left on the life-preserving boat. Do you allow her to take it, or do you take it by force?
Take it by force?
Interesting. But how would that go, you know? I know if it were me, I would bludgeon her in the head with an oar! Would you do that?
No, I would give the seat to her. I mean, I'm in good shape. I could swim.
John, the waters are shark-infested. There will be absolutely no swimming.
Okay, well, I'm not just going to leave an elderly lady on a sinking ship to die.
She's going to die soon anyways, John.
God, just because she's old, she could live several more years.
Not if she has the Ebola virus.
She has the Ebola virus. Does she know this?
John, what would it even matter? All right, what will you do?
Fine. I will take the spot on the life.
Well, you're ruthless.
Well, you made
Next
me
question.
say okay.
All right, say a friend offers you 2 front row VIP backstage passes to the biggest show of the year, Nickelback. You going?
Absolutely not.
Rightio, Johnny boy. All right, this next set of questions is going to be a high-stakes list of either-or propositions designed to gauge how confident you are in your decision-making.
Okay.
Great. Question number 1. Milk or cookies?
You mean milk and cookies?
No, John, this is not a perfect world. Milk or cookies.
Okay, I guess in that case, milk, then.
Yeah, you seem like a milk guy.
What is that?
Let's move on. I'm going to list a series of words and phrases, and as soon as any of those spark some clear mental image in your head, I want you to tell me what that is.
Okay.
Great. Fireplace, ice skates, toboggan, hot cocoa.
A winter day.
Good, John. Donatello, Michelangelo, Leonardo.
Distinguished Renaissance artists.
The Ninja Turtles. Nerd.
Well, I didn't...
Thong. Bikini. G-string. French maid outfit. Your mother.
My mother?
Your mother?
You just said my mother!
John, you just said your mother during the list of sexually appealing outfits. There was absolutely no insinuation on my part.
No, but you just...
John, you seem to be getting very worked up about this. Why don't you just take a seat and we try some relaxation exercises, huh?
Just sure, get off.
Okay. Imagine your feet are slowly sinking into the warm sands of a tropical beach. You can feel the palm trees waving around you. You can hear the tide gently caress the shore. And the seabirds flying around you. Are you feeling it, John?
Yeah, you know, I can see it.
Good. Your father's busily snapping away photos with which to remember the vacation by, and you and your mother play with a frisbee. It's then that you stop. You look at the sky, the sea, the clouds, the sand, and you remember what an amazing time you're having with your family on this nude beach.
Wait, what? Look, this is ridiculous, okay? I don't hang out on nude beaches with my parents. I'm not attracted to my mother. I wouldn't ever kill someone. And milk or cookies? It's milk and cookies! I want both! I am done with this! Oh my God, I am so sorry. I don't...
John, that was perfect!
God, what, now you're back?
Oh, little did you know I've actually been here the entire time. John, my friend, you just passed with flying colors. You know, a lot of people would leave after bludgeoning that stupid old lady. But you, my friend, you made it all the way to motherly love.
Are you saying this was all a test?
I mean, it's a pretty high-stakes job. So.
Oh, I don't want it. All right, I don't want to be part of an organization where one of the prerequisites is this kind of tormented evaluation. I quit. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I misread the situation.
Oh, my.
Wait, please. I'll see you Monday.
If I could have the finalists in special occasion speaking down here on finalists row. And up here on stage, the finalists in prose reading. Thank you, guys. There were 6 finalists in the final round of prose reading. In 6th place, from Joliet West, Lilia Villaflor. In 5th place, from Belleville West, Abby Barger. In 4th place, from York High School, Rosie Kungle. In 3rd place, from Cole Silly, Dylan Ludis. Your tournament runner-up in prose reading, Tommy Sear from Glenbard West. And your state champion in prose reading from Downers Grove South, Gwen Royal. Your state champion in prose reading, Gwen Royal.
I'm not a big fan of surprises. Like, when I go see a sad movie, I always want somebody to run out right before the sad part and be like, okay, Bambi's mom is about to bite it, but everything will be fine in the end. Oh, sorry. I forgot to say spoiler alert. Anyways, spoiler alert. This story is kind of depressing. It's about dead babies. I know, ew. But they don't all die. And in the end, everything is fine. Well, mostly. We all have those dark moments in our lives that we wish that we could put behind us, but we cannot let ourselves be defined by them. When we can look upon our most challenging moments with humor, we give ourselves the opportunity to breathe and move forward. Let's Pretend This Never Happened by Jenny Lawson. So, you're probably wondering, how does one write something funny about dead babies? Answer, you don't, so get prepared. I always imagined that when I got pregnant, it would be awesome and everything would go perfectly. In real life, I found out I was pregnant, promptly got so sick that I could hardly move, and threw up into my office garbage can all day long. It started to become obvious to everyone that I was either pregnant or dying, so my husband Victor and I decided it was time to go ahead and tell everyone. They were all thrilled. Well, except for the cleaning lady who had to empty out the garbage cans. I'd always wanted to be a mother. I didn't really like other people's babies, but I never considered that to be part of the job requirement, as I assumed that my baby would kick ass. A few weeks before the second trimester, we went to the doctor's office for an ultrasound. I hadn't slept much the night before because I woke up in the middle of the night with a panic attack and ended up calling my sister, hysterically yelling, "Oh my God, what if the baby's a Republican?" She hung up on me because she enjoys being unsupportive. Or maybe it was because she was mad that I only call her at midnight when I'm having panic attacks. I don't really know. What I do know, though, was that I was braced to hear almost anything in that exam room. It's twins. It's triplets. It's a Republican. I was mentally prepared for almost anything except for what the doctor told us. That there was no heartbeat. I went numb. We went home and waited to miscarry. I had Victor call everyone that I knew and tell them to never mention this to me again. No flowers, no I'm sorries, nothing, because I knew that was the only way that I'd be able to survive this. Just pretend like it never happened. And that might have been easier to do, except for the fact that I didn't miscarry. I continued to carry around the baby for a month. After many breakdowns, my doctor realized that this needed to end now, and he scheduled the surgery. A week later, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and put on an antidepressant that made me suicidal, which is apparently not how antidepressants are supposed to work, turns out. My doctor got me on another drug that did work, and my psychiatrist worked with me until I was eventually able to leave the house again without having a nervous breakdown. And I got pregnant again. And I lost it. Again. I switched doctors. I demanded to be tested for everything in the books. And that is when I found out that I had antiphospholipid antibody syndrome. I went home and looked that up, and it basically said, "You're gonna die." My doctor said that it wasn't that big of a deal, that it's just an autoimmune disease. And then I told her that I was pretty sure that I had polio and testicular cancer. I'm not allowed to use WebMD anymore. She prescribed a heavy-duty treatment of expensive blood thinners. And then she said, "Here's your giant duffel bag of syringes so you can inject the medication directly in your bloodstream." And I thought, oh, I have made a terrible mistake. But by then it was too late to back out. So I took a deep breath and started giving myself the injections. In the stomach. Twice a day. Awesome. It's basically like getting the treatment for rabies, except instead of 5 shots, it's 700. After many, many months of shots, I found myself pregnant again. This time, I was getting further than ever before. I kept my appointments and I wasn't taking any chances. Time crept by until it was finally time to induce. So Victor and I drove to the hospital maternity ward, and in this very twisted sort of serendipity, the TV screens buzzed on with that bloody stomach scene from Alien, which should probably be banned from all labor rooms. Victor attempted to switch it off, but I told him to keep it on. Thought it sort of fit the theme. Victor knew I was scared, but I wasn't so nervous about the pain. I was terrified because the risk of stillbirth is so much higher with my condition. I was so focused on getting my daughter out of my body that I hardly even noticed the pain. And then one more push, and there was silence. And then the beautiful sound of crying. It was me crying. But then it was my baby crying. My Haley. It wasn't until that very moment that I actually let myself believe that I might be able to be someone's mother. And as I held her in my arms, Victor was crying, and I was filled with so much wonderment and awe that I felt as if my chest would explode. And then the epidural started to wear off. And I remember thinking, wow, it would be great if this baby's mother could come take her so I could get some sleep. And then I remembered, I'm that baby's mother. And I felt a little scared for the both of us. A few minutes later, Haley was whisked away by the staff, and Victor followed, and that is how I found myself, half naked, completely alone, covered in my own blood, in what was possibly the most unflattering position imaginable. But you know, totally worth it.
All right, may I have these special occasion speakers on stage? And our final finalists in original comedy down here on Final Row. There were 6 finalists in the final round of special occasion speaking. In 6th place, from University High School, Ian Kelly. In 5th place, from Eisenhower, Candace Swain. In 4th place, from Thornton, Yalari Trice. Third place in special occasion speaking is Aditi Vadakat. Your state runner-up, Kaleo Price from Belleville West. And your state champion in special occasion speaking, Evelyn Perez from Fenton High School. And your state champion in special occasion speaking, Evelyn Perez.
Getting everyone together to celebrate Abuelito and Abuelita's 50th wedding anniversary wasn't easy. Abuelita and Abuelito had 14 kids. Ay, Abuelita. Who then produced 124 grandkids. And the smartest, prettiest, funniest, most adorable grandchild has something she wants to say. No, Abuelita, I'm not talking about Erica. I'm talking about me, Evelyn. I realized that this is the first time I'm speaking to some of my aunts, uncles, and cousins. Even worse, this estrangement isn't due to understandable circumstances, like scheduling, or distance, or jail time. No, it's because we've allowed lies and gaslighting to come between us. You're too sensitive. It's all in your head. Erica's a better granddaughter than Evelyn. Is she? I don't think. No. This petty gaslighting is problematic, not only because it makes our family reunions really awkward, but because it prevents us from seeing the real enemy, Structural gaslighting, which is a form of manipulation used by dominant social groups to make members of oppressed groups question their cultural reality. And because this undermines our lived experiences as members of a minority community, we need to stop pointing fingers at each other so that we can give the collective finger to structural gaslighting. So today, we'll first explore the problem with structural gaslighting. Next, we'll discuss what causes this behavior. And finally, we'll identify solutions, hopefully extinguishing the gaslit flame for good. Okay, look, I'm a Perez too, which means I'm just as guilty as everybody here. At school, I run an Instagram page dedicated to posting pictures of people's feet underneath bathroom stalls. People suspected I was running the account, but I gaslit everyone into believing it was my friend Muhammad. Now, even Muhammad believes he's responsible. All he does is stare at people's feet like a creep, plotting his next post. Running an Instagram page with 189 followers comes with a lot of power. And like structural gaslighting, this becomes problematic when exploited for personal gain. In a September 9th, 2020 article published in the journal IHSA, Nora Bernstein, professor of philosophy at the University of Tennessee, says, structural gaslighting obstructs the non-accidental connections between structures of oppression and the patterns of harm they produce, licensing the use of psychological tricks by dominant social groups to make themselves seem and feel more important. You don't even have to look very far to see structural gaslighting at work. It's right there. Just kidding. According to a November 24th, 2020 article published by the BBC, structural gaslighting can be heard in responses some survivors hear when they speak on their sexual assault. Like, "Are you sure you said no?" And is pervasive when it comes to race. For example, telling a person of color, "Not everything is about race. Oh, it's only a few bad apples." The purpose of these statements, questions, and microaggressions is to make someone second-guess their memory and interpretation of events, allowing for racism, misogyny, and disinformation to run over society like a car. That is systematic, hydromatic, and ultramatic. It's gaslighting. Go gaslighting, you're burning up society. Gaslighting, go gaslighting. Go away, Erica. She fell. But beyond being a psychopath or a Perez, there's other reasons as to why someone may engage in this behavior, especially on a societal level. Clinical psychologist Dr. Lori Beth Bisbee writes in her 2021 book, Essential Life Skills for Gaslighting and Trauma Survivors, gaslighting can be deliberate, but it can also be unconscious on the gaslighter's part. For example, when it involves protecting against a negative self-view, or asserting a need to be right to shore up an inflated sense of self. Like, to feel better about the bald spot on the back of my head, I convinced my brother that his head was oddly shaped because the doctor used a vacuum to assist my mom during his delivery. And even though his head is perfectly normal, just for fun, I like to rub the top of his head for good luck, as a subtle, false reminder that he's slightly deformed. I'm protecting myself from myself. Evelyn versus Evelyn. Moreover, some structurally gaslight because, like American flag bikinis, structural gaslighting is so ingrained in our society that it's considered normal. According to a September 29th, 2021 article published in the journal Perspectives on Psychological Science, from the way we're taught Black history to the way interactions between dominant and oppressed social groups are portrayed in the media, structural gaslighting is subtly woven throughout our entire society and structure, conditioning non-marginalized individuals to gaslight without noticing their behavior. Consider the narrative surrounding the Patriots, who broke into the Capitol and destroyed federal property, versus the thugs, who broke a few windows at a Walmart during the Black Lives Matter protests. Marginalized groups are continuously oppressed, and history has gaslit us all into accepting it. So, oops, sorry, Erica. So let's grab a fire extinguisher and some solutions so that we can go all Evelyn on structural gaslighting. First, communicating your experiences to others is a powerful anti-gaslighting tool. In a 2021 study published in the Journal of Women and Minorities, researchers suggest telling as many people as you can about what's happening and how it's making you feel. When others affirm your experiences, you're better able to process them for what they really are, as opposed to how they're viewed through a societal lens. Like Aunt Lola. The whole world thinks you've got a juicy badonkadonk because you're a spicy Latina. But compared to the rest of the family, your butt is as flat as a sad white girl singer. Sometimes the truth hurts. Gaslighting hurts more. Furthermore, if you find yourself gaslighting others, it's important to understand why you're engaging in this behavior and work actively to stop. According to a June 22nd, 2021 article published by Forbes Health, because gaslighting is such a common go-to response at all levels, it's difficult to not engage in this behavior. Our best defense against this knee-jerk reaction is to call it out when we see it. Recognizing this action in others will better help us see it in ourselves. So rather than going after each other in small ways because it's easier than grappling with the larger systems of oppression, we should instead turn our collective gaze outward, becoming as vigilant about calling out structural forms of gaslighting as we are each other's gaslighting. And if you're on the other end of that call out, don't get defensive. Stay humble. Everybody makes mistakes. Erica is proof of that. We're a family, and we're part of a community. So let's work together and show them that structural gaslighting is no match for a Perez, or we'll shank ya. Oops, still down there. So dramatic. Between the half-truths, baseless allegations, and 5 different types of beans, there's a lot of gas at this anniversary party. However, I'm confident that after speaking on the problems, causes, and solutions surrounding structural gaslighting, we can work together as a family against all forms of this emotional manipulation. And if we're not going to do it for abuelito and abuelita before they leave the party, we might as well do it for the good of society.
Congratulations, nice job. Will the finalists on original comedy join me up on stage? There were 8 finalists in the final round of original comedy. In 8th place, from Yorkville High School, Andrew Fapp. In 7th place, from Eureka, McKinley Zobrist. In 6th place, from Wheaton North, Marcos Rodriguez. In 5th place, from Mattia Valley, Jonathan Barker. In 4th place, from York High School, Owen Espinoza. Third place, from Marion, Mia Lockett. Your tournament runner-up in original comedy, Sydney Richardson from Downers Grove South. And your state champion in original comedy, Daryl Mondane from Hinsdale South. Your state champion in original comedy, Daryl Mondane.
And then she handed me a batch of cookies with Ellen DeGeneres' face on them. Oh, now that is just sick. Were they at least good? Mom! I'm sorry, sweetie. Continue. Look, a part of me is just glad that Pride Month is finally over. It's been 30 days of microaggressions, tokenization, and a lot of slay queens. All right, well, maybe you should try telling them how you feel. If you want, I could knock some sense into them. I didn't take them 40 years of jujitsu for nothing. It's all right. Tomorrow's July 1st, and everyone will go back to treating me like I'm a normal person. All right, well, you head to bed. Can't have you waking up late for summer school again. Good night, sweetheart. Night, Mom. Beep, beep, beep. Shoot, I'm late again.
Hey, Darrell!
Hey, Simon.
Have you checked my blog? Simon says, for the fun Pride Month fact of the day.
No, it's July 1st. Pride Month is over.
No? Hey, Siri, what's the date?
The date is June 30th.
See?
Huh. I could have sworn.
Well, I'll just tell you myself. According to recent studies, having an older brother makes a child 30% more likely to be gay. Don't you have an older brother?
Yeah? Don't you have two?
Yeah! Wait!
Hey, Darrell. Crystal. So, I brought you these cookies. I drew this person because they're gay and funny. Oh, and you're gay and funny. Is that James Corden? I said gay and funny. It's Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen again? Look, it was either this or a box of Twinkies, but I thought those were too on the nose. Bring, bring, bring.
Good morning, you hormone-enraged youths. Welcome back to health class. As you all know, yesterday you took a pop quiz. So please, step forward when I call your name to receive your graded assessment.
Crystal? No, thanks. I actually wanted to mention something about the menstruation discussion yesterday. I would never menstruate. People should be able to love who they want to love. Turning men straight is not the answer.
Crystal, please take a seat. Also, you failed. Next up, Simon.
Another A! Yes!
Freak.
And lastly, Darrell. Oh, I think I'm having major deja vu. Didn't we take this pop quiz 2 days ago? Regardless, I should apologize. I didn't study, so I'm sure I failed.
Don't you worry about it.
There's no grade, it just says LGBTQIA+.
No, it says LGBTQI.
A+. Oh, bring, bring, bring.
Next.
What's bothering you, kid? Look, this is gonna sound crazy, but I feel like I've lived this whole day before, and on top of that, this whole month everyone's been treating me so weird because, well, I'm gay.
You're gay? Why didn't you just say so?
And then she put glitter on my face. So that's why you're covered in all that glitter. You look like one of them little disco balls. Do a little spin for me. I'm freaking out. Everything that happened today happened yesterday. Well, why don't you catch some Z's? It'll help you clear your head. Oh, good night, my little schnookums. Good night, Mom.
Beep, beep, beep.
June 30th? Not again.
Hey, Darrell!
Simon.
Have you checked my blog? Simon says, for the fun Pride Month fact of the day.
Is it about how I'm gay because I have an older brother?
So you did check it out!
Hey, Darrell. So, I brought you these cookies. Look, I wasn't gonna say it before, but these look nothing like Ellen DeGeneres. They look like you tried to draw Owen Wilson from memory. Bring, bring, bring. Good morning, you hormone-enraged youths. Welcome back to health class. As you all know, yesterday you took a pop quiz. Here we go again. Darrell, just because you got the highest grade on the quiz doesn't mean you can interrupt my class and act like your top dog. Wait, top? Miss Appleton, I hate to break it to you, but he's... Crystal! What? I thought this month was about being loud and proud. Bring, bring, bring. Next. What's bothering you, kid? Look, Never mind. I would rather starve than have my face covered in glitter. Wait, you know about the glitter? Get gay! I can't take this anymore. Why is this happening to me? Whoa, 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 mister. You're up here? I need you down here. What's on your mind? It's like nobody acknowledges my existence outside of my sexuality. Listen, sweetheart, I know what that's like. I'm the only black PTA mother. I mean, just a few weeks ago, they threw me a surprise party for Juneteenth. They even got me this talking Martin Luther King bobblehead. Boing, I had a dream. Oh, Marty. Look, I told them that just because their intentions were good doesn't mean their actions are too. The point is, you need to tell your friends how you feel and hope they understand because real friends should. Thanks, Mom. I know what I need to do now. Anytime, kiddo. Good night. Good night. Beep, beep, beep. June 30th. Hey, Darrell! Before you start, Crystal, could you get over here? I was just sashaying over to give you these. Look, guys, we need to talk. This whole month you've been treating me as if all I am is just the gay kid. There's more to me than that. I get that you want to be supportive, but there are more productive ways to be supportive. Pride is more than just rainbows. And Ellen. Wow. I guess I just never really thought about it like that. Yeah, we're sorry, Darrell. We'll do better. Thanks for understanding. Anytime. So, who wants cookies? Oh, me! I love Jamie Lee Curtis. Mom, I know you're gonna have no idea what I'm talking about, but thank you so much for the advice. I think I'm gonna head to bed early. You're right, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm sure whatever I said was brilliant. Sleep tight and don't let the rats bite. No, for real, I got the exterminator coming in tomorrow. Love you, sweetheart. Love you too, Mom. Beep, beep, beep. July 1st. Woo! Slay.
It's that time. I'd like to announce the team sweepstakes. We will name the top 5 schools. Trophies up here for the top 3, so we'll ask the top 3 schools to come up and receive the trophy. And coaches, you can take the medals and medal your students or have them medal themselves if you want to be contactless. So, with no further ado, in 5th place with 18 points, let's recognize the team from Neuqua Valley. There was a two-way tie for third place. Please talk amongst yourselves for just a moment, okay? Talk amongst yourselves.
We'll just send it. Yeah, we'll make it.
All right. Just wanted to clarify. So, with a two-way tie for third place, we will recognize both teams. So, with 21 points, first of all, the team from Thornton High School. We'll make sure you get one of these. Don't worry. Okay. Also in third place with 21 points, the team from Wheaton, Warrenville South. Can we have a little music? Something up-tempo with a beat. Something you could dance to.
In second place with 22 points, the team from Downers Grove South. 2022 with 23 points, Hinsdale South.
Next time I'll see you in the studio.
Thank you for coming. Your packets will be in the lobbies, and hopefully we'll see you all next year.